is 438? Do we have Chris? Do we have different Excel sheets? Yeah, around there, Irene 438. It has to be more than 400. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I get this kind of an Excel, there's quite a lot of noise in town today. There must be some people who are celebrating perhaps early Christmas, but how can they celebrate early Christmas and yet? There's a report which has been produced today saying that over 61% of the population does not have anything for Christmas. 61% of Kenyans do not have anything for Christmas. Very sad. Very sad. They would want to celebrate, but they have got nothing. Right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. So if you have this kind of a document, right, you can see we have revenue from different lines, supermarkets. We have revenue from discounters. We have revenue from groceries, etc., etc., etc. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with this kind of information, really, how will you be able to produce an income statement? How will you be able to produce an income statement out of this? It's very easy. You know, the very first thing that I will do, I would want to introduce buckets, right? Like you can never produce an income statement that has got, say, like 5 revenue items, but revenue from discount, no. You need to introduce a big bucket. This big bucket is going to take over all the revenues like that. Remember IFRS 1? IFRS 1 has given us a general format of an income statement. Income statement, basically, we are supposed to have our revenue. Number 2, we are supposed to have cost of sales. Number 3, we are supposed to have administration expenses. You're supposed to have distribution expenses. I hope you guys are able to remember your published accounts. I hope you guys are able to remember your published accounts somehow, even if it's vaguely. Jenny is saying that hers cannot open. I don't know why. Perhaps somebody can try giving her ideas, right? So then the very first thing under published accounts, ladies and gentlemen, is to condense what is supposed to be in one bucket. We ensure that it goes for sure to that bucket. And that is what we shall do. That process of lumping up things together is what we call mapping. So you'll go there and write there, mapping. Repeatedly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So go to your table there and write mapping. So please let me know whether you've been able to do that. Just write the column mapping. Write the column mapping, and then you tell us whether you've been able to do that exactly. Have you been able to do that exactly? Have you been able to do that exactly? Have you been able to do that? Have you been able to do that? Write the word mapping. Thank you very much. That shows that we are together. That shows that we are together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now I'll be able to share back my screen. Jenny, I don't know whether now you've been able to get it. I don't know whether, so what I want you to do, there is something that I almost forgot, which is very important. Look at this date. Is this date written properly? Is this date written properly? Because as an accountant, when you get a file, especially coming from junior accountants, you really need to be very careful. Is that date written properly? Is it? Are they written properly? Somebody talk to me tonight. Somebody talk to me tonight. Are they written properly? The dates, are they written properly? The dates, nobody's talking to me. I'm not seeing any chat. If you want to know whether a date is written properly, what you do, just go to any cell. Just go to any cell and try to extract a year. How do you extract a year? To extract a year, we normally say equals, and then we go for the year function. So the year function is there. So you say tab. Once you see the year function, please click on the date. Click on the date, and then you close bracket. Once you do that, say enter. You'll see error. It means that that date has not been written properly. I'm a systems man. I work for a software company, and there are things, if I look like this, I look at them like this, I'll be able to tell you that there is a problem there. There is a problem there. There's a problem there. Here, there is a problem for sure. There's a problem there, but nobody's willing to share with us. Tell us, dates are always written with what here? With slash, not dot. Dot ni yako ya darasa. Lakini mwanafunzi amezoea atakwambia all through. Normally dates should be written in form of what here? In form of slash. So then come and copy the entire column B. After you copy column B, please control find. Control find. I would want to replace. So click on replace. What am I finding here? I am finding, ladies and gentlemen, a small dot. And then I replace it with what here, somebody? I replace it with a slash. Right? And then you say replace all. Replace all. All done. We made 870 replacements. Okay. And now you can see now the date is very okay. This is how Excel captures it. If you click on any of the dates, you'll be able to see a formula bar, how that date looks like. We have in this case here slash, slash, slash. Right? So is there somebody who has been able to find at the end of the day, instead of finding, actually we ended up replacing. Let me see. I repeat. First of all, I would want to see whether there are students who have been able to do exactly what I've done. Is there any student who will be able to encourage the others that have been able to do that? Asante sana, Clinton. Thank you very much. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Let me repeat again. So I would want to, first of all, close this pop-up window. We go back a little. It was like this. And we discovered, hii kitu hata ukienda Kenya wapi, hauwezi ukapata hiyo 1.1, hapana. Date ni slash. So then how do we do this? The normal way that you guys use even in Word. I want to remove the dot. I replace it with an appropriate slash, right? So I come and say control find. When the control find thing normally comes up, when the control find thing comes up, we want to see find and replace. I want to even replace it. So find what? I want to find the bad dots. Replace with what? With slashes. And then now I'll be able to say, don't start saying replace, find, next. No, you simply say replace all. We have managed to do that. Then now we can close this thing. And again, you have to be very careful. If you don't highlight the date, you'll end up replacing even these ones. Like this 95.4, you'll get it being 95/4. 95/4. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you very much, my own. Now listen and listen to me very well. I would want you guys, now this date is written very nicely. Actually, if you want to check the proper date writing, if you click on any, you'll be able to see how the date is supposed to appear in full. So I want you guys to create a column in between B and the C. Please create a column in between B and the C. Create a column in between B and the C. Please help me. Please help me create a column in between B and the C. Please help me create a column in between B and the C. Done. Thank you very much, Jenny. Clinton seems to be really following this thing. Clinton, thank you very much. So what Clinton is saying here, simply come and highlight this column which is ahead. Once you highlight it, you'll come and say Control Shift, in this case here, plus. And now you are able to see a new column has been birthed. New things. This new column, give it a title. I would want us to have the years being mentioned there. And then here, I would want you guys to extract the years. Could you kindly extract the year for me? Use the year function. Please use the year function for you to extract years only, because I can't do an income statement of January. I can't do an income statement of February. I want to do an income statement for a whole year. For a whole year. I want to do an income statement for a whole year. For a whole year. Is there anybody who has been able to do that using the year function? Using the year function, I'm giving you 1 minute. I'm giving you 1 minute using the year function. Where are we using the year function? Where are we using the year function? Where are we? So using the year function, I cannot see charts there, meaning that the silence is so loud. I hope you know the meaning of that. Silence is so loud. Silence is so loud. There are about 20 students who have joined today. How I wish they knew what they are missing. Of course, they'll be able to watch videos later, but you see, there is a first-hand experience. There is a first-hand experience. Okay. Okay, let me see the charts here. They are saying mine is giving July is mine is giving July 05. July 0. It can't do that. Which type of Excel are you guys using? Also getting July. Kindly repeat. Network error on my side. Network error on my side. Mine is giving July. Which kind of Excel are you using? Very old Excel. Dennis is really crying there, which is very healthy. But the crying is also very healthy. I like Siri repeat. Okay, so let me repeat here. Let me do this. So I will come, ladies and gentlemen, and say equals. So I want to extract using the year function. So I can see the year has popped up. Then I'll click on the date itself. I close like that. When I close like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you are told, if you remember when you came out of secondary school, when you were attending your Excel classes in a cyber cafe, you were told, whenever you see these happening, know that there is a problem here. It's a customized thing. Go to home, go to home, go to home, go to home, and you'll be able to see a custom. It's not supposed to be customized. This thing is supposed to be a normal number. So you click on number. You can see now good things are coming. So whenever you get a year which does not make sense, know that there is somebody who had worked on that Excel and they customized badly. Year is supposed to be your normal number. So is there somebody who has been able to go to home and has been able to make this as a number, and now they are getting 2014.00? Yes, yes, done. Thank you very much. Now, the only thing that you need to do is to come and reduce the decimals, right? So reduce these decimals. So still go back to your home. Go to this. When you are at home, you'll be able to see the decimals. Kuna decimal ambayo ina get into E ya ku reduce. Ya ku reduce. See decimal ya ku ina get into here. Ya ku reduce. Ya ku reduce. Inabaki 2014 alone. Sorry, smartphone. Fortunately, we are finishing tomorrow. Right? Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, oh, even Gure has an issue. So if you've been able to get this 2014, please come and put your cursor. Come and put your cursor there. The autofill cursor, the black cursor, and then you double click on it. Once you double click on it, this thing has been able to choose the years all through in your entire worksheet. Yeah, then you double click. Thank you very much. Clinton seems really to be following this thing. I repeat, Cyrilla, right? So Cyrilla, have you been able to get this 2014 first? Have you been able to get 2014? Have you been able to get 2014? Have you been able to get 2014? Cyrilla, have you been able to get 2014? No, repeat. Alex, yes. Yes, 2014. Kindly repeat. So what I'll do, I'll go back, right? So how do we get this 2014? It's very easy. It's very easy. So what I'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is to come and say there equals. So when I say equals, I want the year function. So the year function, I'll be able to tab. When I tab like that, you can see bracket, they want the serial number, the date given. So you'll be able to pick the date like that, and then you close bracket. So when you say equals, you'll be able to get July 05. So the students who told me to repeat like Cyrilla, could you kindly confirm you are able to get that July 05? Kindly confirm whether you're able to get that July 05. Jared Nyambok. Confirm you're able to get July 05. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, once you get this, of course, you know it ought to have been 2014. 2014. Then you know there is a problem with customization. Where do we get these customized things? You'll come to home. Now at home here, you'll be able to see this customized. We want number format. We don't want, like, you say currency, it will come with Kenya shillings ahead of it. The same case here with accounting, right? You need to know how to do this. Also for time, percentages, etc. But you see, for us, we only want a number. And once I press this number, now it's coming to 2014. But it's coming to 2014 with decimals. We don't want those decimals, right? So I need to really reduce on them. So I'll come to this decimal. You know, there is an increasing decimal and there is a decreasing. Hata ukiangalia kasa, itakwambia decreasing decimal. Show fewer decimal places. So I click on it once, 1 0 goes. I click on it again, 0 goes. So I'm left with 2014. And then, of course, come and put your plus. Put your plus here. Once it's this pregnant plus, you double click on it and you'll be able to get all the years to the last one, up to 2016. Remember the years, if you scroll down a little, you'll be able to see the years. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see the 2016. 2016. So it moves like, it gives you the years like that. So now, are we together up to there? This is going to be your most exciting class. It is very much applicable with what you guys are doing at your workplace. I'm so sure from tomorrow, wenzako kazini hawataona amani. Utendo waambie leta trial balance na waonyeshe maneno. Yeah, and really that is Excel. Once you understand Excel, never keep with this thing alone. Lazima unaringa kidogo. Ukiringa in the process, you get others who challenge you. At the end of the day, you become better and better every day. Every day. You become better and better every day. Now, thank you very much. So tomorrow, hakuna amani kazini. Lazima watu wakujue. Umefunzwa Excel na one of the very best people of Excel globally, not globally. We are joking. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we are okay. Now we are okay. Now we are okay. Now, there is one column here that I explained and said you need to come and create called mapping. Do you have that column called mapping there, somebody? Do you have this column called mapping? Do you have this column called mapping? And do you know why a column called mapping is important? Why you need to create a map of your transactions as an accountant? It's not about cramming, really. Because at first, when I went to where I work, Somebody was trying to teach me this thing first. He made me to cram. No. Because I knew Excel, but I was not into this accountancy work a lot. So later on, I was able to understand the reason why we need to come up with mind maps. Yes. So while we are coming, ladies and gentlemen, with these maps, remember, like when you guys are booking in your transactions, for purpose of segmental reporting, if it's revenue, you'll be told to say this revenue, if it's RCM, this revenue is from CPA, this revenue is from ACCA, this revenue is from CFFE, right? But you see, at the end of the day, for purposes of IFRS 1 published accounts, these guys would want one-liner. So the one line will be revenue. So I would want to create a map. And now, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me and listen to me very well. The first thing that you need to do is to come. The first thing you need to do is to come to these column titles. Please highlight all the column titles. Let me know that you've been able to highlight all the column titles. Let me know that you've been able to highlight all the column titles. Have you been able to highlight all the column titles? Have you been able to highlight all the column titles? So I want you guys to introduce filters. I want you guys to introduce filters to your data columns. Filter. I would want to filter my revenues out. I would want to. So there is a shortcut, but the very best way ya filter, we kuja kwa data. Kuja kwa data, utaona hii filter kubwa inakaa kama nini. Iko mwanafunzi ashaona hii kitu mahali ya kupima mafuta, ilikuwa kupima mafuta tama nini, hii kitu hii filter. Very famous. Kwa vitu ambavyo hataki shortcut. It's easier because you'll be able to see it. Hii filter, hata unakaa kuna mwanafunzi hapa lakini hii bado ni vijana wadogo. Hamwezi kuwa mmeiona hii kitu. Wengi hapa mnajua gas peke yake. Yeah, a funnel, yes. So ladies and gentlemen, very good. So remember, you have to highlight everything like that. And then you go to data filter. So data filter, this funnel like that. When you do that, you'll be able to see funny things, drop downs being introduced. Funny drop downs being introduced to your titles there, your column titles there. Are you able to see those funny things there? Is there somebody who's able to see those funny things? The filters, they look like funnels as well. Is there somebody who is able to see those funny things? In short, have you done that? Have you done that? Have you done that yourselves? Have you done that yourselves? So today I can see there are very few students who are giving me response. Out of 63, I can't get 6 only. It has got to be everybody. This is about now what an accountant is supposed to be doing. We've got to talk. We must talk. You must talk. If you're not able to see, please remember that emoji of a crying person. To me, in Excel, the more the people cry, the better. The more the people cry, the better, because we are in a world of what we are getting to. We are troubled from inside. We are troubled from inside to try to understand. That is the essence of asking questions. Watu wa Swahili wanasema mugagana upwa hali wali mukavu. Mugaga na upwa hali wali mukavu. So wali, sorry kidogo kudigress, lakini lazima tujue wali ni nini. Wali ni nini? Wali ni nini? Ya, mchuzi uongo. Ni rice wewe namna gani? You cook rice, yes. Cooked rice. Haya, asante sana. Mugagana upwa, na upwa ni nini? Upwa ni nini? Mbona utaki tukule wali kavu? Upwa ni nini? Mtu wa Mombasa atusaidia hapa kidogo niweze kukuexplainia kitu vizuri. Upwa ni nini? Hata kama inakusumbua baharini, mugagana upwa. Hata kama Excel ni ngumu namna gani, mugagana upwa. Kulialia, kuuliza maswali namna hii. At the end of the day, you really understand this thing. Huwezi kuwa na shida kazini. Everybody will be able to realize that you are an excellent young man, an excellent young lady, and you will really get promotions. So mugagana upwa. So upwa imewashida. Upwa. Robert, and that reminds me, Robert, I want to come to visit you people. I'll be coming for sure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. So at least wanafunzi wamesema mwalimu tuko sawa. Sasa ukishafika hapa, una target column ya financials, column ya transactions ndio column yako. Sasa unakufa na column ya transaction, unakuja kwa filter ya financial, you click on it. Kwa filter ya financial, kwa filter ya financial, have you been able to click on the filter of financial? Have you been able to click on the filter of financial? I want to filter many things. Nataka nitoe uchafu na baki na vitu mzuri mzuri. Right? So have you been able to click on the filter of financial? So the two students who are telling me mwalimu you've been able. Alafu unajua click, usiklik na nguvu sana, usiklik na hasira. Kuna style wewe, unaguza mara moja kwanza na observe. Right? Ukiona kuja unarudia ku double click. Right? So at least the number is going up. The number is going up. The number, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now come here to the financial. I'm repeating again. I've been able, ladies and gentlemen, to get, so I would want to filter the revenue. Revenue. I would want to filter the revenue. I would want to filter the revenue. So when I filter revenue, I'll be able to see in this entire thing, what we call other revenue that has come up. Right? Tukona revenue, discounters. Tukona revenue, grocery. Tukona revenue, retail. Tukona revenue, ya supermarkets. I would want all these to be put in one basket. So come and they say, okay. Once I say, okay, everything else has been thrown out of my transactions. The only thing about me back now, my revenue all the way. My revenue all the way. It's only revenues there left us with. Then I'll be able to use now this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to bring all these to my basket called revenue. My basket called revenue. My basket called revenue. So when I say revenue there, ladies and gentlemen, please click outside and then you go back to the revenue. Click outside and then you go back to the revenue. Click outside and then you go back to the revenue. Are we there? Are we there? What I want to do is something very simple. I would want to copy. So I'll come and say control, copy. Now, please, before you do it, allow me to finish. So I would want to duplicate this revenue all over to the last cell, all over to the last cell. So I must find a way of highlighting the entire column. So how will, if I come and press this thing here, I'll highlight the entire thing, which will be very bad. I want to find the entire, but to the end. So what I need to do is to say Control Shift. Where you are seeing home, where you are seeing home up there, there is an end between home and insert. Uko juu kabisa na delete. Kana delete. There is an end. So ukisema Control Shift, unafinya end. Alafu unasema Control Paste, which is V. Hapo unajua ni kizungumkuti, lakini kabla niongee tena nirudie, hebu jaribu peke yako hata ukikosea so what? Excel ni jenga bomoa. This is just like Omo with Powerful, right? Omo with Powerful. Wanakuambia chafua nguo kabisa ndio Omo with Powerful ing'arishe. Right? Usiogope kukosea. Sababu hata ukikosea unakujanga hapo juu unasema go back to the last function. Great. Samuel, I don't want to leave you behind because especially you, I know we are going straight away after this. We shall be going straight to financial modeling. So I would want you guys to get what here, the entire concept. The entire concept, because you don't get this entire concept. Financial modeling has got a lot of this. How do you fix, right? Right. So allow me to repeat again. Very easy. I'll simply come back. No problem. I'll simply come back. I'll even go back to my financials, right? And then of course, I'll be able to dismantle this. Select all. I want everything to be selected. So in that case here, I've gone back to my table. Ladies and gentlemen, having gone back to our table, then in this case here, what do we want to do? I would want in this case here, first of all, as per IFRS 1, published accounts, income statement, the first thing is revenue. So for revenue, I'll have to filter revenue out. So I click on that, and then in the search, I'll come and say revenue. We say revenue. So once I start pressing their revenue, I'm able to see all my revenues have come up, right? And I would want to be left with them alone. So I'll be able to come and say there, okay. So once I say okay, ladies and gentlemen, what am I seeing there? Once I say okay, I'm seeing everything left there is revenue, and I would want all this to be put in one basket. And the basket here is called what here? Revenue, right? Everything here, I would want everything there to be called revenue, right? Everything there will be called revenue. And remember, for mapping, ladies and gentlemen, I must always use control copy. For mapping, I must always use control copy. So I'll come and say control copy. So I can see the entire thing is revolving there, right? And then, are you able to see the end key? Are you able to see the end key, which is very near insert, very near delete, very near home? Are you able to see end? Start from there. Are you able to see end? 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 They're not seeing it. They're not chatting with me. I don't know who they're chatting with. Perhaps at home, their kids were disturbing them. Right? Right? So once I see that, then I would want to duplicate this revenue. I would want everything that is here, which is filtered, to be called revenue like that. So then I would want to highlight the entire column, which is control like that, and then you use end. So we have a control like that and end, right? So once you do that, automatically you have gone to the end of the entire table. So I need to paste. Can someone remind me, how do you normally paste things in Excel? How do you paste things in Excel? Somebody remind me, please. How do we paste things in Excel? How we paste things in Excel, it's Control V. It's good you guys know. It's Control V. So I'll go back because, of course, I've lost mine when I was trying to read your comments. So I'll go back. I will go back there. So that is it, back there. So I'll come and say Control V. So when I say Control V, what are you able to see across the entire column? I don't want to know where this revenue came from. In my income statement, I would want any income coming in to be just referred to as revenue. So now up to there, are we together? Up to there, are we together? Up to there, are we together? Are we together? Please don't fear to cry. Don't fear to cry. Cry. And of course, once you get it as well, don't fear showing us your muscles. Don't fear, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, dancing a little bit. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, from there now, what I need to do, can't see end. Hebu saidia Amaya, end iko wapi? Umeona kwa hii function ya home, hata kama ni computer kubwa. Right? Home. If you're able to see the home function. Kwa computer kubwa ni end ni 1. Yeah, Dennis, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Robert. Inaenda horizontal, what do you mean? Finally. Mahali imeenda horizontal aje. Lakini mahali umepata machine kwanza, umepata machine kweli mahali. to the right of navigation keys. Yes. So after copying, now please find a way of, let me repeat this, Samuel again. Samuel today Samuel. Leo Samuel akona tabu leo sijui kwa nini. Biblia amekuwa na siku mrefu kazini, which is still okay. So remember, what are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We have our revenue, right? So this revenue is the one that I would want to come and do what here? Is the one that I would want to come here, to come here, to come here, and so I would want to put all my things where I would want to put all my things, ladies and gentlemen. I would want to put all my things where I would want to put all my revenues in one basket, right? And once I say revenue, I can see all the revenues have come up, so I'll be able to come and say okay. So once I say okay like that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm able to see these are revenues, right? So here I have my revenues. Here I have my revenues. I have my revenues there. I have my revenues there, right? So revenues, I'm a revenue. Revenue is better. So then I would want to copy these to all the other cells. I hope you guys understand the meaning of the word copy. So I'll come and say Control C. First of all, go out. So I'll come and say Control C. Once I say Control C, the thing is ready to be copied. So now I'll be able to paste all over. But you see, if I come and say paste just on one, how many times would I be able to paste? I saw somebody telling me, Mwalimu, what if I was able to scroll this thing down? Will you be able to scroll down to 400 cells really? No, right? You can also come and double click here, but for mapping, this thing does not work for mapping. You'll be able to see why. It doesn't work. So the only way is to highlight the entire column by saying Control Shift End. Once it has gone to the end, now say Control Paste V. And now after you're finished there, please go and attack this funnel again. Attack this filter again. You know that the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, after you've been able to filter revenue, the next thing now should be what? Somebody help me out. The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, should be what? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. The next thing now should be what? Somebody help me out. Somebody please help me out. Somebody help me out. After revenue, I know I need gross profit. So I know I need the COGS. COGS stands for what here, somebody? Cost of goods sold. And unfortunately, they have paraded themselves here. They have been filtered out. Mine is to apply, to say, okay. When I say, okay, like that, ladies and gentlemen, what am I seeing in this column D? Everything is COGS, COGS, COGS. The only thing I need to do myself is very easy, is to come and map this in one name. International Financial Reporting Standards can never allow you to use these acronyms. This one, as accountants in our organizations, you can use them. But for financial reporting, we know that COGS has to be written in full. So when I go to map these things to a better basket, I'm taking them to a better basket known as cost of goods sold, known as cost, known as cost of goods, cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. So this is cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold, ladies and gentlemen, if, for example, you try to come and say double click, look at what it will take you back to revenue. So here there is nothing like double clicking. Normally in mapping is a very sensitive thing, and you need to understand. Those of you who work in auditing firms, you know that auditors take a long time, a lot of time to map. So then here, the only way out is to say Control, copy, right? Control Shift End, right? Control V. I've been able to map cost of goods sold. I've been able to map cost of goods sold. Just try using the Control Shift down arrow. This thing, you know, it does not have a breakdown. You know, for you to use Control Shift nicely, you must be having a break. That's why you'll get some people. Utaona ukifanya Excel, kuna watu ambao wamezoea pia hiyo sana. Wanakuja mpaka mwisho wa Excel, wanakuja mpaka mwisho wa Excel, huku chini kabisa mwisho, unapata wameweka mwisho kabisa, wameweka XX mastopper. Hizo stopper ni wakati nataka kuweka Control Shift down, inamstop hapo. Hiyo ina stop. Okay, control shift ina down, arrow down, inateremka mpaka mwisho 1 million cells. Mpaka 1 million cells. Ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. Listen and listen to me very well. Now we are cracking this. I've always seen people losing jobs because of this mapping. Now, the next thing, please hit on the filter. Now, after cost of goods sold, I know I'll be able to get gross profit. So gross profit, after that, I would need operating expenses. I'm trying to imagine how my income statement looks like. I'll need operating expenses. So come and filter them out. Operating expenses. Operating, actually it has even come here, it's only one. Operating expenses. So I'll be able to apply it by saying, okay. So when I say, okay, there are so many of them, not a problem. Come here and write operating, we're almost finishing this, operating expenses, operating expenses. Click out, click out, click out, get in again. Say control copy, control shift, and control V to paste. I'm through with that mapping. I've been able to introduce this special bucket. After controlling and pasting everything down, I'll go back to this particular OTS sieve. So I touch on it. I know the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, is to think about what your depreciation, because once you give me operating expenses, I'll be able to get what we call operating income, which is basically EBIT before interest, tax. And then I'll be introducing other things called depreciation and amortization. So I need this depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization, it's here already. So I'll be able to come and apply. So what I would wish you guys to do, please now don't write anything. Let me just go to the end and then I'll be able to repeat. Let's agree. Let me go to the end and then when I repeat, I'll be able to pick you up from wherever I left you. What I would want us to do is simply to look at this. Are we in agreement? Let me do the donkey work first. Let me do the donkey work first. Are we in agreement with that? Don't do anything now. Don't do anything now. Let's try to get the end picture. Don't do anything now. So then I'll come here. Of course, we don't appreciate equity at D and A. Lazima tuandike kwa bucket, lazima niseme depreciation, depreciation, and what here? Amortization. Depreciation and amortization, like that. And then I'll come and click out. I click in. I say control copy. I say control down and then I'll be able to say control V. That one I'm over. Come and attack. Attack again, right, like that. So now I'll be able to pick an expense like interest. So I have interest, right? So interest expense is here. So I'll be able to apply. I have all interests. If I want, I can call it finance cost the way, but let me just call it interest. Let me just call it interest. Let me just call it interest expense. Interest expense. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll click out. I'll click back there. Control C, Control Shift and then we have Control V. So I've been able to copy down like that. Now, after that, I'm now sure that I'm almost finishing. I should only be thinking of tax. Tax. So taxes like that. Tax is important. I'll come and mention their taxes. At first, I don't know sana so taxes. So once I have these taxes, I'll say control copy, control down, and I'll be able to say control paste like that. Ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. When I go now back to my financial filter, now this time round, I'll come and tell my financial that I would want to go back. Select all. You select everything now. Why am I selecting everything? I would want, ladies and gentlemen, to apply everything so that I can go back to where I was, where I started from. Please, you're not writing anything. I just want to talk to myself until I get to showcase, exactly what is expected of us. So you can see now here I've returned back to revenue mixed like that. So then, ladies and gentlemen, what I would expect to do here is to come here and take, let me just come here and take, ladies and gentlemen, copy the entire column. I copy the entire column of map, of this map. So I'm copying the entire column of map. So at first nikifanya unakuwa unastuka sana, lakini utaipenda sana. Hii mimi hainistui because najua utaipenda sana. Hata una choice. So nitakuja kwa hii column ya map naichukua hapa. Natengeneza a new worksheet. Right? So this new worksheet, I would want to rename it my P&L. I would want to call it P&L. P&L, enter like that. So and I would want to copy my map here. So Control V. So once I copy my map, I like this. Once I copy my map, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'm seeing so many duplicates. I'm seeing a lot of duplicates here. I'm seeing a lot of duplicates. So when I am seeing a lot of duplicates and I would want to remove these duplicates, I'll go to data and then I'll be able to click on this symbol. Ya ku remove duplicates. Duplicate yani kama unapata kama revenue imejirudia, revenue mara mingi. So I would want to be left with only one revenue. So nasema remove duplicates. So where do you want to remove these duplicates from? Column A. So I'll come and say, okay. Inaniambia 429 duplicate values found and removed. 6 unique values remain. So these are the 6 unique values like that. I love this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'll do very fast here is first of all to ensure that I basically have my thing looking nice there. Remember years, we have years. We have 2014, we have 2015, we have 2016. Usikajali kufuata na macho tu kwanza. Hata sio lazima nimalize leo. Leo naweza fanya tu mnaangalia, ndio nikianza kesho nianze fresh. At least utakuwa shaona the bigger picture. Aya, sasa angalieni hapa maajabu ya Musa. Now what I would want to do is to get the total revenue of which year? 2014. So to get total revenue of 2014, ladies and gentlemen, to get total revenue of 2014, listen and listen to me very well. To get total revenue of 2014, I can see these are the amounts. These are the revenues. But when I try to add these revenues, there will be revenues of 3 years. So basically, these guys want me to use what we call some ifs function. Sasa nisikizeni muone abracadabra sasa. Nisikizeni muone abracadabra. Niulizeni swali kabla niendelee. Hii kitu iko na conditions ngapi? Ukiangalia tu generally, because some ifs you must understand the number of conditions. How many conditions do we have? How many conditions do we have kwa hii kitu? Conditions. Year is a condition because there are 3 of them and I would want to separate. And then I have, ladies and gentlemen, these map items. Map items are also what you can do because I would want to get total revenue alone out of the many amounts, right? Thank you very much. Sasa tuanze pole pole. Sasa nitakuja hapa hata kama sielewi nitasema equals. Niseme some ifs. Nilete pale juu sasa. Inauliza sum range. So sum range will go back to your mapping. I wish I remembered that. So I'll go back to my mapping and I'll be able to pick this E because I want to the total, the amount. So I'll pick E. Remember, amounts must always be fully fixed. Amounts must always be fully fixed. So go back to your EE and press F4. Amounts must always be fully fixed. Put a comma there. From there, now we are through with sum range. The next thing is criteria range. You told me that you guys are aware that the year is important. So this, like now, the year 2014 is the next criteria. And where is 2014 found? I'll go back to my data source. I know 2014 is found here. So I'll be able, ladies and gentlemen, here to click on what year is 2014. Remember years. The year there, ladies and gentlemen, this many years that you have there, they're going to become titles. So years as well must always be F4. So years, sema hapa F4, sorry. Sema F4 namna hiyo. Right? Sema pale, koma tena. Aya. So after kufinya hiyo year, unaona umefinya all the years. Kumbuka that is the house, the criteria range. Now the next, they want me to press the specific year, the criteria itself. So go back to your P&L and press this 2014. Now when I press this 2014, I would want to relax a little bit and hear from you guys. Could you kindly tell me, which thing do you think am I going to put $1 here in? Where am I going to put my dollar here? Should I use F4? Or should I target only 4 or target only B? Please talk to me. And you're not writing anything. You will like this. This will be your most favorite part of Excel. So which one do you think in this case here should I do? Should I use F4 between B and F4? B, lock B, lock B, lock B. Lydia, lock 4. Ladies and gentlemen, truth be told here, I should lock 4 because where is this 2014? I can see it's a row title, external row. Which row is that? It's row 4. Ambayo imeshikilia matunda juu. Na kama imeshikilia matunda huko juu, ni kumaanisha ni hiyo 4 peke yake. Right? Hawezi ukaanka B na B iko katikati ya nini, unaona? Ibi ukile msalaba ya Yesu, ile pande ambayo itakuwa nje ni ya 2014 2015. So I need to come, ladies and gentlemen, here, and then I do what here? Somebody, I'll come here before 4, and then I do there my dollar there. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, atuandiki chochote, atuji chochote, don't write anything. Now I'm through with the criteria of the year. I've been able to see the criteria range of the years and the criteria itself 2014. Now after there, I have my revenue here. I have my map. So what I need to do is to select the entire criteria 2 range. So criteria 2 range, I'll come here, ladies and gentlemen, I'll go to my map. Sorry, this thing I'll push it a little bit up. So I'll go to my map there. So this criteria range, when I click on it, criteria range must always be applied. You must always apply F4 to criteria ranges. In this thing, F4, you must always apply F4 to all criteria, just like for the year, we applied F4. So criteria ranges, you must always apply F4. Now listen and listen to me very well. So here I am, I'll come and apply F4. Then I say comma. So I've been able to pick the entire map, but I only want revenue. So I need to go back to my P&L. And then I'll be able to pick revenue alone. Once I pick that revenue alone, could you kindly advise me between A and 5, which one in this case here do you think should I be able to, lock? Between A and 5, which one should I be able to lock? Somebody. I can see people complaining, but remember here, it's about me. Here, it's not about you. It's about me finishing for you to be able to see the bigger picture. And then when we come to our tomorrow's class, I should be able to really, and I'm surprised, students here are really contributing. They're telling me before A, lock 5. Usikajali, utapotea bana, huyo utajua. Nitalock aje 5 na 5 iko. Unaona 5 iko katikati. Iko 20, iko row ya juu iko na kitu. Hapa A ndio external. So lock A. So when I lock A, ladies and gentlemen, there, what do I have? When I lock A with a shift 4, what do I have there? That is it. Now I need to come and close my bracket. So close bracket there. And then you say what there? You say enter. So it is telling me that the revenue of 2014 was 29.22. And once I get that, ladies and gentlemen, now I can come and apply this thing that way, right? And then I'll be able to apply this thing downwards, right? So it is able to pick for me automatically all the taxes in the years, all the interest expenses in the years, each of the years, all the operating expenses, etc. Now my work basically will be to expand this particular income statement in accordance to what year? In accordance to the dictates of IFRS 4. For example, I would want to come and say Control Shift. I add a row here and call it what here? Somebody call it gross profit. I call this gross profit, right? I'll be able to come here before 9, Control Shift add. I'll be able to get my EBITDA. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Then from there, I'll be able to get, according to IFRS 1, I'll be able to say Control Shift there. And then I add another one for EBIT. So I have there EBIT, right? After that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to come before taxes here. I'll be able to say Control Shift add there, and I'll be able to get what we call EBT. EBT like that. After that, ladies and gentlemen, lastly, I'll be able to get my net earnings down there. My net earnings down there. So now what I need to do, even else, my operating cost, and then I'll be able to say enter there. I have my EBITDA. This EBITDA, ladies and gentlemen, I can come and push it like that. To make it a little bit different, I'll be able to bolden it like that. Then we have EBIT. EBIT, of course, I'm saying here, I'm taking this EBITDA minus, I have this 31, and then I say enter, and then I'll be able to pull this formula across, and then EBIT, or rather EBT, I know I'm saying here, this minus this, and then I say enter. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment I get this, I should be able to pull it right that. I forgot to bold and even the other one. Then lastly, I have my net earnings profit after tax. I'll say equals, take the EBT minus the taxes, So there I am. And then I'm able to get my net earnings like that. So Control B. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sure you guys have seen a lot of dust. But in that, or can we just, because I think you guys are tired. I'm not tired personally, I enjoy, right? We sleep. Let's digest fast. And then I'll be able to talk to my guy, right? Mpate video practice. Tukija kesho, ikupitia. So but these are the kind of things, ladies and gentlemen, if you know how to do them, if you get an employer, serious employer, will give you